Maybe we can already start with a short introduction, as we have let's say a short intro of about 5 minutes before we start the demo. So this should give people the time to join this webinar. So hello everyone, and welcome to the Dynavision webinar for modern distributors, wholesalers, and retailers. The goal of this webinar is to show you in a hands-on manner how Dynavision can help you tackle common challenges that you encounter when working with Business Central as a distributor, wholesaler, or retailer. We have decided to keep this the session concise and to the point, but know that the add-ons we are going to show have a lot more to offer. But again, we're going to try and keep it to the point today. If you want to learn more about those add-ons, feel free to contact us afterwards or go to our site dynavision.app, where you can find out more about what we have to offer. My name is Jens Kolvenaar. I am business line manager at Dynavision, where my main responsibility is doing webinar introductions. I'm joined by my colleague Sébastien Schotte, a functional Business Central consultant, who will take you through the demo today. Now, before we dive into the demo, I'd like to kick things off with a very short story about Dynavision. Again, no worries, I'll keep it short. I know you're here for the demo and not for the sales pitch. So once upon a time, there was a Belgian team of consultants that noticed that BC partners were building the same types of customization over and over and over again. And they thought to themselves, why not standardize these features and pour them into SaaS apps? That is when Dynavision was born. The team developed an app portfolio of about 30 add-ons for Business Central with a 100% SaaS focus, allowing them to keep the apps up to date no matter how many updates Microsoft might push for Business Central. As the team was very experienced in distribution, wholesale, and retail, they started focusing on these verticals. Last but not least, a generous benefactor decided to support this noble story. Through the support of Capital A, Dynavision was able to spread its wings on a global scale. Here are a few numbers that are meant to impress you. I won't go in too much detail, but the point of the slide is that our add-ons are very well adopted in multiple countries and are being used day in, day out by organizations like the ones you work at. Of course, I also had to put a few logos on a slide to show you guys that our add-ons are truly being used by over 50 BC partners worldwide and over 250 distribution wholesalers and retail companies worldwide. Again, meant to impress you. If you're not a partner yet, or if the organization that did your BC implementation is not a partner yet, please reach out so we can put even more logos on this slide next time. Okay, so I guess now it's time to get to business. As mentioned, the goal of this webinar is to show you how you can tackle following challenges in Business Central by using Dynavision add-ons. You probably recognize these challenges very well. Now, as the attention span of human beings is diminishing, we're going to focus on a few key features of these add-ons, but know that, again, what we're offering, we have a lot more to offer in those add-ons. So if you'd like to learn more, don't hesitate to reach out. The add-ons we will be showcasing today are the Dynavision Advanced Item and Price Import app, with which you can import supplier Excel files into Business Central and extract any useful information out of them, such as purchase prices and item information. Next up, we will discuss the Advanced Pricing and Discounts app, with which you can calculate sales price lists based on purchase prices or desired target margins, and we'll show you how you can bypass the standard best price mechanism of Business Central, because of course you don't want to give every customer your best price. As we know that in distribution, wholesale, and retail, marketeers and salespeople like to go crazy on creating all sorts of sales promotions. We're also showcasing our advanced promotions add-on and how this can help you indulge those crazy promotions. In verticals where you have large assortments, it becomes almost impossible to remember all your cross-sell and upsell combinations. So we decided to put your mind at ease with the Dynavision cross-selling app that will support you in increasing your average quote amounts. And last but not least, we are demonstrating the Dynavision Trade app that, amongst others, has a powerful attribute and back order management features. Just to give you an idea, these are just 2 out of the 65 features that are part of this add-on. Again, as mentioned, we are focusing on some key challenges and according features, but know that the add-ons we are showing today are capable of so much more. Okay, so now it's showtime. As it's Cinco de Mayo today, we try to adapt the demonstration to this theme a bit. If you have any questions, you can ask them through the Q&A section of this chat, and we'll try to answer them after the demo if there's some time left. If not, we will contact you later on with the answers to your questions. Sébastien, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Jens. So hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. I will show you some of the features of the Dynavision apps that Jens just introduced to us. And I will do that in a realistic Business Central environment for distributors and retailers. Also, during the webinar, I will refer to the Dynavision app that I am using at that moment so that it is clear for everyone. So first, let's dive in some of the possibilities of the Dynavision item and price import app. So now I'm looking at an Excel file that you might receive from your supplier. This is our Mexican wholesaler, which supplies us with some beautiful Mexican items like food items, tortilla chips, and so on, but also non-food items. And it might happen that once in a while you receive an updated price list from your supplier through a custom Excel sheet like this. And one of the possibilities of the item and price import is to import these into your Business Central in an easy way. So let's first have a look at the Excel file. First, you have an item number, some description, unit of measure, but then you can see a purchase price in this column, also a sales price, and some more information about the item. Is it a snack, a meal, or a drink, or, for example, a non-food item? So now let's look at my Business Central environment. Okay, from here we can import this Excel file. So we go to Imported Documents and import the file. This is our Mexican wholesaler price list. I have to close it. Here it is. So in this first screen, you see already a mapping from the data that is in the Excel file to our fields in Business Central. This mapping we can adapt through the field mapping that is shown here. So here you see the different columns of the Excel file that I just showed you, like the item number, description, unit of measure, cost price, list price, and type. And in this column, we make the mapping to our fields in Business Central. So I'm mapping this to our item number. I'm mapping the description to the description, and so on. So we are now focusing on purchase price. I will map this to the direct unit cost, purchase price 1. Also, we can map the sales price in the same action, saying this is unit price, sales price 1. Here we see that the action that is shown here, create item attributes, was done on this line. And this made an attribute type, and it assigned the values in the column to the different items that I'm importing. So this will create an item attribute type with the values snacks, meal, non-food, and it will assign this to the correct items. All these settings that I did here, you only have to do it once. The next time that you import a similar file from the same supplier, it will recognize the file and it will set all these settings for you, so you don't have to do it again. This is all saved in an import template. There are some more possibilities here. You can add a formula when you want to calculate from one unit to another. You can do it already here, and it will import in the correct way. Also, there are some transformation rules possible. This is mainly to change the format of the date or to change format of the decimal format, let's say, so that you have everything in the right order when you import it to Business Central. Here there is one checkbox, the key field. This determines what determines the key field. So next time that your supplier sends you a file with another item number that is not in your item list, it will create a new item because it is a new item number, and that was the key field. So if we go back, next thing that we do is we apply those data. And then we get this screen. So at this moment, I do not want to create items as these items are already in my Business Central. I just want to update prices at this time. So update the purchase price list. And here I can select my vendor specific price list. It's price list 1 for the Mexican wholesaler. For the sales prices, I can also update the price list and select a price list, my general sales price list. Also here, I'm setting a starting date for my prices. The rest I don't have to set at this moment. So let's apply the data. Successfully applied. From here, we can already view the price worksheet. In this price worksheet, we have purchase prices and sales prices that are imported from the Excel file. Here you can see that I imported a vendor-specific price for this item, for item 1 on the first line, and this is the new direct unit cost. So all the prices that were in the Excel file are imported here, and you can check them in your price worksheet. The same is true for the sales prices that I am importing for all customers to the price list. And here you see the new unit price I am importing. So if you are happy with the numbers here, you can implement the price change for the sales prices and for the purchase prices. Okay, so now we imported everything in our environment. And now let's say we have our purchase prices now, but we want to calculate new sales prices based on our updated purchase prices. For that, we are looking at the Dynavision Advanced Pricing and Discount app. And to do that, we need the advanced price calculations. So here you see, I made 2 price calculations, one for food items and one for non-food items. Let's first have a look at the one for the food items. So here in this screen on this page, you can see how this calculation is set up. So first of all, we have to define where to retrieve the purchase price. So here I'm saying the app has to look at the highest purchase price that is found for this specific vendor, for a specific item. So it will look at the vendor specific price, purchase price, and if there are more, it will take the highest one. Next, I can set how the sales price should be calculated. So I can make different calculations here. Let's look at the first one. This is a customer specific sales price that I'm calculating here. So it is specific for customer 1. And how is this calculated? It will calculate with a coefficient of 2. So every purchase price will be multiplied by coefficient 2 to attain the new sales price. But I can also do a calculation for a customer price group, let's say for the large customers or for the small customers in my Business Central environment. And if we, here this calculation does not use a coefficient, but a margin calculation formula. Let's have a look at different margin calculation formulas. This is a way to express the margin that you want to have on your sales price. So let's say we have a cost of 50 and we want to sell it at 100. If I use the margin sales calculation formula, this means I have to enter a margin of 50%. So I will use this one. And here I say, for the large customers, you have to use a margin of 40%. And for the small customers, you have to use a margin of 45%. So from this screen, we can calculate the new sales prices. So for that, I run this report. I have to enter a date. And I can run it. If we look at the sales price worksheet, first we see here, for all the different food items, we see a customer-specific sales price that was calculated. This is the new unit price. But also for the large customers, we see another calculation. And then also for the small customers, for the same items, we see another calculation based on the margins that I entered. So if you are happy with the results in the price worksheet, you can select them and implement these calculated prices. Okay. So now there's something else that is important. Another feature of the advanced pricing and discounts app, and this is the price hierarchy. Here we have the possibility to set the priority for the sales price. So if you can see here, this is the source tag customer, and it has the highest priority. So this means if there is a customer specific sales price, this one has the highest priority, even if it's not the lowest sales price that is applying to that item. And we can change this priority as we want it to have it suited to our needs. We can have it for customer price group, and so on, and also like all customers. So if I did everything now for the setting, we'll have a look at a sales order. We'll create a new sales order for our customer 1. And now enter an item on our sales order. And now if we look on our sales order line, we see a unit price of 560. If I look here in the fact box, I can see that for this item, there are 3 sales prices applying. One of them is my all customers price. This was imported through the Excel file. The other one is my customer specific price that I calculated with my calculation formula. And the third one is the customer price group large, because my customer 1 is part of this price group and it has price of 3 euros. So we see here that on our sales order, it is not the lowest price that is used, but the price with the highest priority. Okay, so now that we have this sales order, we can look at some features of the Dynavision Advanced Promotions app. So let's say we want to do some promotions on the tortilla chips. If you buy 2, another free item is added on our sales order. So if you buy at least 2 bags of the tortilla chips, a fresh salsa is added for free. We have here a discount value of 100%. This is an example of promotion that can be set in Dynavision Advanced Promotions. If we increase this quantity to 4, we will see that there are 2 free items appearing on our order lines. So now let's look at the setup of this promotion. This is the promotion card, where it is defined that if you buy 2 of the same item, you get 1 item for free. If we look at the conditions, here it is set that the minimum quantity that you have to buy is 2 bags of item number CDM 001, the tortilla chips. So this is the condition. If this is met, then another item line, a free extra item, is added to the sales order. And this is the fresh salsa, Also here it is shown that quantifier, that this is true per minimum quantity. So that's why if I increase this to 4, there was a second free item added. This can be changed, that it's also that it's only once. Also, I can add here more items. Let's say I do not only want to have this promotion on the tortilla chips, but also on, let's say, the churro bites. Then I add this item, and here I have multiple conditions now. If I click on it, I can see that this promotion is true for item number 1, but also for 14, the churro bites. So this means if you buy at least 2 of the churro bites, 1 free salsa will be added to your sales order. This is an example of a somehow basic promotion. The advanced promotion app also has a lot of possibilities for more advanced promotions. Luckily, Dynavision had included a lot of templates to make these promotions. So for the most common promotions, there is a template that is pre-made. So for example, if you buy a certain number of items, you will get a certain number of items for free. Or let's say if you buy a number of items from the same attribute, you get one of those items for free. And here there are a lot more possibilities to set a promotion. So the most common promotions are included here. So now let's look at one of these advanced promotions. If you create one of these promotions through a template, you will get something like this, and it helps you to easily set the promotion. So first of all, the item attribute on which the promotion applies is the attribute type that we saw from the Excel file. And then next, the item attribute value on which the promotion applies, it's for drinks. So here it says this promotion applies to all items that belong to the attribute type and has the attribute value drink. And then the quantity that triggers the promotion. So this means you have to buy at least 3 items of drinks, so at least 3 drinks on your sales lines to activate this promotion. This can be on one sales line or it can be multiple sales lines. If this promotion is valid, an item charge will be added, free drink, and a discount of 100% will be applied on one of those items. So now let's look how it looks like on sales order. Let's go back to our sales order. So let's add some drinks. Let's say 2 of the margarita mix, 2 bottles. And then 1 bottle of lime juice. So now we have at least 3 drinks on our sales order lines. And now I click on check for promotions. And here you see that the advanced promotion that I made is valid now. So if I click on it, there is an item charge added named promo for free drink. And if I look further, it has a negative price and it is for the cheapest item of the 3 drinks that I entered on my sales orders. If we look closer to this item charge, we can look at the assignment and we see that the item charge is correctly assigned to the 2 drinks, 2 types of drinks, so the 3 items that are on our sales order line and to which the promo applies. Okay, so now I demonstrated the advanced promotion app. Now let's look at the cross-sell app. Here already on this column, you can see a cross-sell code that is active. So if I click on it, for example, for the tortilla chips, the first item, I get a specific list of items that might be well to cross-sell with this item. And what is important to this list, they all have the same spiciness level as my tortilla chips, so they might sell well together. If I want to add one of those items to my sales order, I just enter the quantity and it's added to the sales order. So now let's look at how we can set up the cross-sell code. First, I will show you some details about my item 1. So it has the item attribute spiciness and it has a value of medium. So the cross-sell list that I showed you has all items that have the same spiciness level saying medium. Now let's look how this is set up. I have a cross-sell code here for food items. And it has a filter that is active. And it says it has to filter for the item attribute spiciness and with the attribute value that is inherited from the item on my sales order line. So it's inheriting the spiciness level from the tortilla chips. And this is used as a filter to filter items that might be well to cross-sell with the tortilla chips. So this makes it possible to have very realistic cross-sell lists. Also, you saw that the order in which the small list of cross-sell items was appearing is important and can be set also to the cross-sell setup. Here, there is some small setup saying that the order of the results should be sorted as quantity sold. So the highest sold article is shown the highest in the list, and it has to look back 1 year in the past to determine this. Okay, so now as a last app I want to discuss, I will look at the Dynavision Trade app. It has a lot of features, as Jens already said, but one of them is the attribute management. So for that, we go to our item list. And here we can assign an attribute in an easy way to different items. So let's say we are selecting our party items, mini sombrero, tabletop piñata, party cups, and let's say some paper banners. Now I can go to attributes and multiple. So this is a feature of Dynavision Trade app. If I click on it, I see already that all of these 4 items that I multi-selected belong to the attribute type and are non-food items. But here also I can add a new one. So I can say all of these items are non-food items and I want to label them as party items. So this is just done in one action. Another possibility is to filter on attributes, filter by attributes. And here I can say filter on the use and on all party items. So starting from the item list, now again, I have these 4 items that I just labeled as party items. This filter that I made, this filter that I just made can also be stored. So if you gave it a name, you can save it. And then in the future, you can just click and filter in your item list. So for another feature of the Dynavision Trade app, we go again to our sales order. So here we have some different items on our sales order, but we see we want to ship them to our customer, but we see that for the tortilla chips, we don't have enough inventory. So we only have 2 items available and we need 4. And also for the fresh salsa, I have only 1 available, but I need 2 items. So at this moment in time, I can only ship 2 and 1 of those items. And for all the others, I have enough inventory. So first, we want to ship already what we have in stock. We want to ship it already. And now we see that our quantity to ship was adjusted. So for these items, we need to ship 2 more. And for this, we should need to ship 1 more. So to effectively manage this, you can create a back order with the Dynavision Trade app. If I just simply create back order for all the lines that have some remaining quantities, it now created a new sales order with these 2 items and with the right quantities that were left over from the other sales order. If I look at my first sales order, you will see that the quantities here are adapted. So this sales order is fully shipped, and we can follow up on the second sales order. So that makes it easy. So thank you everyone for your attention. I hope I showed you some of the functionalities of the Dynavision apps and I maybe triggered some interest with you. And I'm happy to give back the word to Jens.
All right, thank you, Sebastian, for this very fluent demonstration. If you want to learn more about our add-ons or are interested in one of the add-ons you saw today, you can just scan the QR code and contact us through our contact form or go to our website, dynavision.app, and navigate to our contact form as well. For everyone who was present during this demonstration, we are offering a 20% discount on the first license year of any new add-ons ordered. So this, of course, is a bit more interesting. I also saw that there were some questions in the chat, so let's go to them now. Let's see if we can answer them. So there's a question from Kevin Philip, Sebastian, asking what happens if a supplier provides their item number instead of their item number or the distributor's item number.
Yes, that's a very good question. This again, you have several possibilities with the item and price import app. Most, I think the best solution would be to map this item number to the item reference number in Business Central. And from there on, it will have a link to your own item number. So the fields that you are mapping to are not limited to the ones that I showed you in the demo, but can be extended with a lot of fields from different tables in your Business Central environment. So there's always a possibility to add the right field and to, in one action, import the data in the right order.
All right, thank you, Sebastian. That was a good answer to your question, Kevin. Perfect. And then there is one more question from Geert de Blare. Do the new sales prices get applied on existing order lines?
No, existing order lines always need to be reloaded so that it gets re-evaluated before the new line, the new price is applied, because you do not want to change prices on sales orders that should not be changed because agreements with customers, let's say. So there's also always some extra action necessary to update the prices on your sales order lines.
All right, thank you, Sebastian. If there are no further questions, then I think we can conclude this webinar. If any question would pop up, again, you know how to contact us. So feel free to email us, call us, Teams us, whatever. We are there to help you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And we hope to see you in our next webinar, or we hope to welcome you as one of the Dynavision partners or customers. Thank you.